I thought I was, for a guy my age, in reasonably good shape. There's really a long way to go.
You gotta love Kirk Clyatt. Did you see the shot he took? That was great. We should have run it in sports.
Finally, some relief from the hot weather.
Yes, but the combination of systems is creating combustion. Right?
That is so true. Absolutely. Here's the result of that combustion in the atmosphere. That's what it is. You have incredibly quickly rising air, and a lot of it is due to a contrast. Let me get out of here so I don't get run over. A contrast in temperatures. Let's show you those temperatures, and you'll get a pretty good idea of what I mean. This is last night at 6 o'clock. Now, overnight, we had a nice July evening. I was down by the Inner Harbor. It was beautiful. But notice what's happening here during the day. We warmed up. For instance, 4 o'clock this afternoon, we were at 87. New York City, 52, a 25-degree spread. You get a real good idea where the cold front is, where the warm front is. We're in the warm sector. There's a tremendous amount of lift in the atmosphere, and that combustion that Deborah mentioned is what happened this afternoon. High pressure is back behind the front, and that's what we're going to have for the next couple of days. So once we get these storms out of here, severe thunderstorm watch for all of our viewing area until 9 o'clock tonight. Still some very strong storms, possibly producing hail, but no tornadic activity we can find with our Skyscan Doppler radar. Very strong storm here in Queen Anne's County getting set to move into Newcastle County in Delaware. The heaviest rain is in the southern sections of our viewing area in Calvert and Charles County. They still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Here you get an idea why over the last 3 hours. A wild ride across the Bay Bridge over to Kent Island. But for Baltimore City, points north and west, certainly the worst is over. Here the way the official numbers shaped up for the day. The Inner Harbor, though, did make it up to 90 degrees. 87 at BWI, 15 above normal. It won't be nearly as warm tomorrow. Very low barometric pressure, 29.64, but it is rising. Winds are out of the west and gusting over 20 miles an hour, but they will be diminishing as we go through the night. We will start to see some clearing. You get an idea. We were right where the action was today. Here's what's going to happen over the next 24 hours. The front pushes through, high pressure builds in, and it's going to remain in control for a couple of days. So it looks like it'll be the latter part of the weekend before we see any more rain activity. And of course, rainfall totals varied greatly from maybe 1/10 of an inch in some locations where the storm cells missed to over an inch where you really got hit hard, and some hail too. Here's your forecast for tonight. Storms ending, late night clearing, winds becoming light, and tomorrow, mild. Still temperatures above normal because the normal high is the lower 70s, so we're still going to keep temperatures above normal through the period, but it's a lot easier to take temperatures in the 80s than the 90s. So a warm day on Friday, chance of showers on Sunday, but one thing's for sure, Deborah, a little less weather stress in the Sky Center the next couple of days.
That's good. All right. Thanks, Greg.
As Dennis continues to lurk offshore, conditions here on the beach at Ocean City are almost identical to the way they were Monday and Tuesday. But as windy and rough as it remains, we still have hope that the weather will improve enough to save at least part of the holiday weekend.
It's just neat to see that we're this far from the weather and the storm and everything, and it does this kind of effect on the surf.
Storm flags are flying this afternoon at the Coast Guard station in Ocean City. But from the crowd on the boardwalk, you might not guess that Hurricane Dennis is just a few hundred miles out to sea.
Kind of keeps you back a little bit, but you're here for vacation. You got to enjoy the best of it.
Yeah, we've got to keep a close eye on the kids. Last thing you want is look or turn around and see one not standing where they were.
While some have left town, other vacationers were making the best of dealing with Dennis.
I need to stay put. Hopefully we can do that. We're at a campground and it's surrounded by trees. It's pretty scary. But
at high tide, much of the inlet parking area was closed, but there was a steady stream of cars for those spaces that were left. Merchants and visitors alike are hoping Dennis goes away for Labor Day.
I think most of them probably went home because our hotels were full. Now they're not. Now we got vacancies and stuff.
The people you have here, most of them just wandering around and just coming to the store to escape a little bit from the wind and from the sand blowing off.
It's challenging, it's exciting. It's like, well, you haven't had experience like this before, so, the challenge and excitement goes with that.
Well, it certainly is a challenge and exciting to be out here, but
For public safety measures, they have gone ahead and closed the beach this evening. The Ocean City Police Department is doing a good job keeping people off the beach. The boardwalk remains open. It's a holiday weekend coming up, and we just still don't know where the storm will go, but we're going to be talking hopefully later on this hour with the mayor of Ocean City, live here from the beach, Jim Mathias, and have a additional complete update on what to expect over the next few days here along the Maryland coast. Deborah?
All right, Kirk, we'll see you a little bit later in the newscast.
Okay, it's a deal.
Thanks. If we told you that snowplows were on the streets today, you wouldn't believe us. Well, try Kirk Clyatt. He was there.
Yeah, she likes being outside, and it's really a bonus when it's this warm.
I love it.
Well, it's excellent, especially when we've come from Britain for a week.
Lately, Mother Nature and the calendar haven't quite been in sync. Instead of out on the rinks, many have been out on the links.
This is like southern weather. So I was really looking forward to seeing some snow.
While there's no snow in the forecast yet, the State Highway Administration is set.
We're ready. Our fleet of trucks is ready, and we're ready for any winter storm that comes our way within reason.
In addition to showing some new technology to help keep Maryland moving, including 36 traffic cameras, some of which you can access live from the internet, the highlight of the snow show was when the Highway Administration decided to really take a chance.
Some of us that spend a lot of our time talking about the weather even got a chance to get a taste of what it's like to go out and work in it.
Guys that's out there on the roads clearing the snow make it look easy, but it's really very difficult.
The object is to knock over the wood blocks without touching the cones or barrels.
That blade is big out there.
They weren't quite ready to offer me a job, but at least I have a certificate. Today, the park or the golf course was the place to be. However, it won't be long before that's all a memory. I'm Kirk Clyatt, Fox 45, News at 10.
Keeping cool in all of this is a full-time activity. Kirk Clyatt is outside tonight and joins us live with a look at beating the heat. Kirk, how you holding up?
Got to get a cool breeze anyway we can out here. 2 days in a row with record heat. Photographer Kirk Clyatt and I spent several hours out in that midday heat and found out our folks were keeping cool as the thermometer again went up over 100 degrees.
Pacing myself, you know, not going too fast. You can't go too fast in the weather. You fall out. Keep some water on you.
Another day with record heat, and most that didn't have to be outside weren't.
This is the coolest place in town.
Most were inside, but not all.
I have to run sometimes, so I might as well do it now. It doesn't get any cooler this afternoon, I guess, so. Plus, I'm on my way. I'm going to run right to the pool and just jump right in.
But if you're still too hot at the pool, there is another alternative.
I'm ice skating, figure skating. See, I like falling on purpose because I just lay down on there and it makes me cool, and the pool is really hot.
Officially, the hottest temperature ever in Baltimore, 107 back in July of 1936. At least in one location today in the city, it was even hotter. The oppressive heat can be good for business.
We're expecting probably at least 200 people are going to want snowballs today.
It's gangbusters. All day long, it's been like this for the last 2 or 3 days. We make around 30 to 40 tons a day, and we're probably selling about 50 to 60 tons.
For other companies, the hot weather means business is too good.
They're willing to pay anything if you come right away. When the heat started Friday, we've been running all weekend continuously up until we pretty well wear out.
Spray it on the back of you. Whew, God, that just is huge. And you're ready. It does something for you when you get the cold, wet water like that.
That's the thing, keep the water in you and on you to keep the heat away.
So windy is the word for this week, so Old Man Winter is still with us. How about the weather for the Winter Olympics? Let's take a look at the temperatures in Salt Lake City and you'll see what I mean. Actually, it's warmer there. They've got warmer winter weather conditions in Salt Lake, although they had some winds to deal with too. Winds have been the story pretty much across the country. Now, the last few weeks, as you might have known and you might have seen, I have been very, very busy. I accepted an Olympic challenge that was issued to me by the folks at the Icebox in Pittston. Now, over the next few nights, what you'll see is 3+ weeks of hard work condensed down into just a few minutes. The last time I did much skating, these were new, and Gerald Ford was in the White House. Up until today, I don't think I've ever even had on a pair of figure skates before. But in the spirit of the Olympics, I have been challenged to do a 1-minute figure skating program. Now I'm going to do my best to be as little black and blue as possible by going black and white. White knee pads, black elbow pads. I don't ever know if I'll get to the level of my young friend Adam here, who does all of this without pads.